Welcome into another Stampin' Fun Friday. This week I'm going to show you some tips for dressing up cute little stamped owls. The first thing I'm going to do is I have cut a piece of white cardstock to 8 1/4 inches wide and then 7 inches tall, and then I scored it in half. And then I cut about 1/4 of an inch off the front flap of the card to make it a little bit shorter. And then I'm going to use this 7 Gypsies punch, and it has several different inserts, and I'm just going to use this small hole punch here, border punch, and I've already punched most of the way across, and I'm going to finish punching that real quick. And it just makes a cute little border. I'm going to add a little adhesive on the inside of the card, and then I've already pre-cut a strip of yellow cardstock that I'm going to place behind that punched border, so that when I flip the card over you see these cute little yellow dots. Just a really quick and easy way to add a dot border there. I've also pre-punched this scalloped strip, and I'm just going to add a little adhesive to it, and then I will place it underneath that front flap of the card, lining it up with the back of the card so it's the same. It'll make the front of the card the same height as the back. I'm just going to press that in there really good. And then I'm going to take my scissors and I'll trim off any of the excess there to clean up the front of the card. Once I've done that, I cut a really thin strip of a darker purple cardstock, and I'm just going to adhere that where the white card and the scalloped border meet. And then I'm just trimming the ends kind of at an angle for added interest. And then I'm going to take some staples and I'm just going to staple that border in place. I like using staples to add a bit of embellishment to thin cardstock strips like this. It looks cute and it secures it. Now I'm going to take this cute owl stamp from Hero Arts, and it comes in a set of 4, and I'm just going to use this one for this particular card. And then I'm going to take several of the new ink colors from Stampin' Up, and the first thing I'm going to do is use my Stamp-A-Majig and stamp that owl on the clear sheet there so that I can line it up on the front of my card. Because I'm going to be stamping the owl several times, I want to make sure and get it lined up. So I'm just figuring out where I'm going to put the first one. And once I get that lined up where I like it, I'm going to take that little T ruler from the Stamp-A-Majig and position it right there with my clear sheet. Then I can move the clear sheet out of the way, ink up my stamp really good, and then I can stamp that owl right there on the front of my card. And the yellow ink color I'm using is Crushed Curry. It's a really nice yellow color. I like it a lot. And then I'm going to just move right next to the owl I just stamped, and I've cleaned my stamp off really well. I'm going to place the T ruler there, and I'm going to take another Stampin' Up ink color, and this one is Rich Razzleberry. And it is another really pretty color. It's kind of a dark plum color. And I'll stamp that right next to the yellow owl. And then I'm going to clean that stamp again really well. And I'll move down to the other end of my card. I'm going to position my ruler again, and I'm going to stamp the last owl with the Melon Mambo ink. And it's a nice, rich, dark pink color. Then I'm going to clean off my sheet here with just a baby wipe, because I'm going to stamp my greeting or my message stamp using this American Crafts Thanks So Much wood-mounted stamp. And there's several really cute designs. I really like these. They're nice stamps. I'm going to position my greeting where I want on the card, and I'm going to move it down there a little bit. I like that you can stamp on that clear sheet and then kind of see exactly where you're going to be stamping. Then I'm going to stamp that greeting using the soft suede ink from Stampin' Up. And now my stamping is done for the card. Now it's time to add a few embellishments, and what I've done is I have already taken just some brads that I had in my stash. These are some flower brads from Making Memories, and I used some glue dots to adhere some googly eyes to them, just for a fun look. So I'm going to pierce a few holes there in the stamped owls and add my flower brads with the googly eyes. It really adds some nice interest and a fun look to the card. I'm going to finish poking some holes in all the rest of the eyes, and I have several other flower brads and googly eyes all ready to go. And I just used several different ones that I had in my stash, kind of mixed and matched them. And I'll finish that up. And then the last thing I'm going to want to do is the little wings on the owls are kind of plain. So I thought it would be fun to take some paper flowers, and again, these are just things that I had in my stash. Oh, before I do that, I'm going to take my corner chomper, and I'm just going to round the top two corners of the card. I love rounded corners, and I thought it needed just a little something, so I did that real quick. Okay, back to those paper flowers, and I just grabbed a few from my stash, and then I'm going to cut apart the petals so that I can layer them to make some wings for the owls. So I'm just going to cut all those apart really quick, and one flower is going to go a long way. One flower will do 2 wings for an owl, and then I'll just layer those little petals there to give the owl some dimensional wings. And you can do this with all kinds of paper flowers. I'm using several different styles of ones for my owls, just things that I had on hand. And here's a yellow flower that I cut apart, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to add some glue dots to each of the little sections, and then I'll layer them and add them right over those stamped wings. Just adds nice dimension plus a fun little feel to the card. So I'll finish doing that for all the owls, and then the card will be complete. For the complete supply list, plus more information, please visit my blog at www.nicolemcgurk.typepad.com. Thanks for watching.